Yeah, we're in the first innings of a very painful downturn, but I don't care because all paths lead to Bitcoin. So we could overthink it and trying to define what the outcome is, or we could just sit back and say, I don't care. Either way, you need to own Bitcoin. Bitcoin appears to be risky, but the appearance of risk versus true risk are two totally different things. Okay. So I actually believe Bitcoin to be incredibly unrisky. In fact, I believe Bitcoin is insurance. And since it's insurance against the fiat Ponzi, I advocate everybody needs to own some Bitcoin.
Amid the ongoing economic meltdown and widespread uncertainty, Bitcoin strategist and former hedge fund manager Greg Foss has given his preferred investment strategy for investors looking to make the best of the available opportunities. According to Foss, the executive director of strategic initiatives at Validus Power Corporation, the global economy is definitely heading for some troubled times, and investors have to make wise decisions by making use of the readily available opportunities. One of those opportunities, which Foss describes as the best asymmetric trade he has ever witnessed, is Bitcoin, the world's largest cryptocurrency by market cap. According to the former hedge fund manager, Bitcoin is insurance against the 100% certain debasement and collapse of the fiat Ponzi. Foss believes the leading crypto asset, which has gained over 80% year to date, is bound to become a risk-off asset that would provide investors with adequate protection from the messy traditional finance sector. To naysayers and doubters, Foss counsels having as little as 5% of your total investment in Bitcoin, with the other 95% in other assets. The result is not losing much if it turns out to be a fluke and having some iota of protection if it doesn't. Foss discusses these and many other interesting points in a recent interview with the Understanding Macro podcast. As we bring you clips from the insightful discussion, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
Yeah. You need to own more than 0% of your portfolio in Bitcoin, or else your portfolio is actually higher risk than if you had a proper portfolio allocation. Now, the proper portfolio allocation is going to depend on the age, the family obligations of the individual, the lifestyle choices. Like if you absolutely have to live in a house, then I'm not going to tell you not to live in a house, meaning or own your own house. If you have to, just because that's your personality, that's fine. Just understand some of the risks that come along with owning a hard asset that's a house. So all of this is to say everything changes with your age, your income, your family responsibilities, your personal risk tolerance, and your lifestyle desires. But don't own zero. Look, if you own zero Bitcoin at any age, you are doing it wrong. Okay? You're exposing yourself to more risk than if you actually had X% of your portfolio in Bitcoin. And generally, for the non-believers, go and get 5% of your portfolio in Bitcoin. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's not. You still have 95% of your portfolio in other stuff. And this 5% could literally go up 100-fold from here, which means that 5% turns into 500%, everything else being equal. That's beautiful. That's asymmetry. Asymmetric returns define careers or return opportunities define careers. So I have a price target on Bitcoin of over $2 million US per Bitcoin in today's dollars. I got to be real clear about that. In today's dollars. That's a pretty decent friggin' return opportunity. It is a hard asset, so you know with 100% certainty that the fiat will debase. Right now it's acting as a risk-on asset, but I believe over time it will act as insurance, and as insurance, it actually becomes a risk-off asset. But this is part of the learning process in markets. All of which is to say, yes, let's play these two outcomes. Bitcoin can either be worth zero. I don't think that's even an outcome that would happen, but let's just, to make the math easy, a binary outcome, it's either worth zero or $2 million US in today's dollars. I'm going to tell you, I'm about 50% confident in my price target. In fact, I'm higher than that. But to make the math easy, let's assume I'm 50% confident or a 50% probability. You do what's called an expected value calculation, and you say, okay, 50% chance it goes to zero, 50% chance it goes to 2 million, 50% times 2 million equals $1 million in today's dollars. and my expected value outcome is $1 million. What are you supposed to do? Hello,
take the
McFly.
bet.
McFly, if you've done your math and you believe in your math, yes, you take the bet. It's like going to a horse track where you've watched a horse train, and just like this year's Kentucky Derby, they laid 100-to-1 odds against that horse winning. And you're like, damn, these odds are wrong. I've watched this horse train. Now, I'm not 100% certain he's going to win, but I'm way more certain than 1 in 100. So what do? You go and you take that bet. And the guys that took that bet made out like bandits because they did smart risk management. Governments can't stop it. Adoption is increasing. Education is increasing, not just with Bitcoin, but how foolhardy our fiat system is. We still haven't talked about the regional bank crisis in the USA. This is why Bitcoin was designed, people. Okay? Bitcoin was designed in the last great financial crisis, 2008, 2009, 14 years ago, for the next financial crisis, which is now.
During the interview, Foss also reacted to some popular criticisms against Bitcoin. In its short 14 years, the leading crypto asset has undoubtedly rattled some nerves, and there have been many attempts to discredit and shoot it down. Though there have been genuine efforts to understand the nascent industry, it's clear that some of the loudest Bitcoin critics have not made any efforts to understand both the underlying network and the popular cryptocurrency. One of the main criticisms that have been brought up against Bitcoin is that it is backed by nothing that has no value. Another criticism is that if Bitcoin's value keeps going up as advocates predict, people will not want to use their Bitcoin for transactions, which defeats arguments that the crypto asset will one day become the world's reserve asset. Let's get back to the interview as Greg Foss gives his opinion on these criticisms and highlights other investment opportunities outside Bitcoin.
They understand the internet, and they'll probably say no. And then ask them if they use the internet, and they'll probably say yes. And then you say it's the same thing, okay? You don't need to understand how Bitcoin works in order to appreciate how valuable it is. Is the internet valuable? Yes. What's it backed by? The network. Is Bitcoin valuable? Yes. What's it backed by? The network. Okay, it's exactly the same thing.
How do you have economic growth if there's no incentive to spend the currency?
Okay, that won't happen because there's a price for everything. First of all, if you choose to own Bitcoin and not eat, you're going to die. So you have to actually spend some Bitcoin to eat. Okay, and then you can say, well, I could pay someone to do this to fix my house. I'm not able to fix my house by myself, and I'm going to use Bitcoin. Because why? Well, the utility of me paying someone to fix my roof in my house is better than living in a leaky house and having all my Bitcoin, but not, living comfortably. So it's like anything, Ryan. Prices will rise to marginal utility, marginal cost, where they intersect. You remember Economics 101? Doesn't matter what the unit of account is. Those two things will intersect and a transaction will take place.
What other opportunities do you see out there at the moment? I know.
I like hard assets. So I own gold. I own silver. I own oil. I own real estate. My biggest exposure is real estate. It's a lifestyle thing. I have 3 kids. We have a house. Shame on me, but yeah, we have a house. Like, that's just the way it works. We have an investment property in the United States where we rent an investment property, but we spend some time there. That's a good investment. Neither of them are portable. If I have to move to El Salvador, these are going to go for sale at fire sale prices because you got to get out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is why you have to balance portability, transferability, scarcity, all the things that make Bitcoin beautiful. And you don't have to have all your assets in Bitcoin. I think we've laid out that scenario pretty well. So don't own zero. I mean, again, for anyone who listens, okay, please do some work. And you're not going to get this right away. It's going to take you some time. But understand how flawed the fiat system is, and then understand how beautiful Bitcoin is as a solution. Now, Bitcoin is the only digital asset that solves it. Ethereum is a proof of stake, centralized fiat asset, okay? Ethereum is exactly like fiat. But Bitcoin is not controlled by anyone. There's a fixed supply. Ultimately, it is the solution. It's the only digital asset that solves the fiat Ponzi. So be careful what you invest in and understand that Bitcoin is not crypto. Bitcoin is a standalone asset class within the crypto asset space.
Meanwhile, Bitcoin has moved past the $30,000 level for the first time since June 10, 2022, when it tumbled sharply following the widespread contagion from the Terra Luna collapse last year. At $30,136, the crypto asset has gained 6.54% in the past 24 hours and over 80% year-to-date. $30,000 is an important psychological range that even the most bearish analysts agree could signify the beginning of a bull market. During one of his recent videos, popular technical analyst Gareth Soloway said he would change his bearish sentiments if Bitcoin stayed above $30,000 for a few days. According to the analyst, that would signify the beginning of a new bull market and confirm that the 15,500 FTX low was the bottom for this cycle. Do you think this is the beginning of the bull market? Please drop your replies, comments on Foss interview, and Bitcoin price predictions in the comments section below. Also, ensure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and check out our other crypto-related videos. Thanks for watching.